Hey Taurus Collective, happy Sunday. Welcome to the channel. Welcome back. I hope you all are doing amazing. I had a channeled message for the Taurus Collective, and I heard Spirit say because I said so. I actually wasn't going to do readings today, but I got that message and I was like, I think that means I'm supposed to record. Yeah, because I said so. And again, like, this is the voice of Spirit talking to the Taurus Collective, right? Now, y'all know that we are definitely very bullheaded people. We want what we want, when we want it, how we want it. And I feel like that message came through really loud and clear to suggest that there could be something that you don't quite understand in your carnal mind, right? Why it's not happening, or why it is happening, or whatever the case, whichever side of it you find yourself on. I feel like Spirit is saying you have to respect the divine order of things. Okay, so y'all just have to take that how it applies. I just saw the last name Harris, Harris, in my mind's eye. Somebody could have had some pancakes. I just saw syrup. I don't know why, but like waffles, syrup. Waffles, pancakes. You could have had something like that to eat, or maybe you're eating it right now. And then I started hearing Lil Wayne's A Millie. Y'all know that song, a millionaire, I'm a young money millionaire, tougher than Nigerian hair. I started hearing that song play, so I don't know what any of this means, but I'm just sharing it for you all. I don't know. Let's get into your message for the week. Those were the channel messages. Let's get into your message for the week. Okay. Spirit said there's no turning back. You got the number 15. The number 15 is the devil in the tarot. That could be bad habits. You know, that could be addictions, codependency. One of the things with the devil card that I don't think gets discussed too much. I don't think I've ever heard it discussed, but I'm going to say it today. I haven't even discussed it. The devil card talks about our pleasure centers, our reward system, usually for doing things that are out of habit, right? Vices, temptation, lust. Like I said, codependency, low vibrational energy. So I feel like Spirit is saying the bridge to whatever this past is, or whatever you thought may have had a future, is burned on both sides, right? And then you got water under the bridge here. So let's see what this is about. You got game over, number 55. And I'm hearing like a half-hearted attempt, because there's only one heart and it's just partially colored in. So this could be that, look at this, deluded attachments, number 55 and 56. Those numbers could be ages, birth years, whatever. You could be born on the 15th. You could be dealing with a Capricorn. Deluded attachments definitely gives me the devil as well, because the devil is about our unhealthy attachments. But one of the things with that card is nobody really talks about the fact that it's like you're doing the wrong thing. You're doing it for the wrong reason, but it feels good, right? So for some of you, this could be a relationship, though, with these hearts here. Maybe you do feel like you had some clouded judgment about someone, or you were being delusional about someone, and you don't feel this way anymore about this person. Maybe you have a little bit of love left for them, but it's just maybe the basic love that you just have for human beings. But as far as like being emotionally attached to this person, maybe codependent on them, it's not anymore. And this is why Spirit said, because I said so. The game is over because Spirit said so. This could also be somebody else's heart looking like this because you ended things with them. So this is your energy for the week. Let's see why you got that. I'm going to do something a little bit different this week. I'm trying to like really figure out the direction of my channels, both of them. I want to make some changes. I'm thinking about just doing away with zodiac signs altogether and just doing collective readings, because it's just, at this point, I'll be honest with y'all, like, I'm losing my desire to do this on this channel. Not desire to read, but my desire to do it on the channel. I'm really thinking about going behind the paywall, because I feel like I've been doing this for a good while now. And I just feel like I'm not getting a return on my investment on this channel. I make more money off this channel than I do on it. And I'm not working for free. Obviously, I'm a tourist. Like, come on now. So I'm just not really feeling like it makes any sense to keep on doing the same thing. And, you know, some of the signs they don't watch. And it's like, do I want to keep doing that? Doesn't make a lot of sense to me. So I'm kind of getting a bit frustrated with that. And it's like hit or miss. And I just feel like my readings are way too good. Not to toot my own horn, but I take this very seriously. And I don't know. There's a discrepancy in my opinion when I look at YouTube. And I don't think it's necessarily the... Okay, we're going to stop. I'm not even going to go into it. Y'all don't care about all of that. Let's get into this reading. I want to try to do something different. And I want to focus on career, health, and love. Okay? When it comes to your career, what is your message for the week? 2 cards. Message for Taurus for this week. The Ace of Wands. That's funny because when I first pulled the cards out, the card in this deck said fired up. And I was like, oh, Taurus might be feeling fired up. That's what this is. The Ace of Wands is like a new beginning, a new passionate beginning. Some of you could have recently started something though. It says, how can you channel your energy and passion towards your goals? So you could feel very goal-oriented this week. Let's see what else. What's going on with Taurus when it comes to... I think I'm doing money. Y'all forgive me. So that's why our game is over here. The game is over because you're starting something new. And it's a passionate new start. This could be a passion project. And this is also... This card shows up when we're tired of being a spectator in our own lives. Watching other people thrive. Living vicariously through other people. And it's like, I want to get in the game. I'm feeling motivated. I'm feeling ambitious. I feel like I should accomplish a goal. And this is like taking that first step. And with a lot of enthusiasm. Someone's last name could be Collins. Collins. Somebody could be moving into a new community here. You have the 5 of Wands. So I'm getting like, if you can't beat them, join them. I feel like you feel very competitive this week when it comes to your career. I feel like you are maybe leader of the pack. A lot of fire energy here. And literally the card said fired up. I don't know where it is, y'all, but it tried to jump out when I was shuffling the cards. So Leo, Aries, Sagittarius energy. It says competition can be fierce, but it can also bring out the best in you. So I do feel like for some of you, there could be something going on competitive this week, but it feels fun. It feels like a competitive sport. Maybe you're doing this for fun. Maybe this is later in the week. This could be more around Thursday, Friday. You could find yourself going to a sporting event, or you could find yourself doing something that's going to be really challenging, but in a good way. Because again, this is usually friendly competition, especially coming out with the Ace of Wands. It feels fun. It doesn't feel like backbiting. This card talks about diversity. It talks about, like I said, iron sharpening iron. So this week, when it comes to your career, you might find yourself in a very competitive environment. Some of you could work in sales. That's the kind of job this would be. And it is the energy of like more than one person trying to achieve the win. But with this Ace of Wands here, I feel like you feel more fired up than everyone else. Let's see what else. Yeah, look at this. The 5 of Swords. Definitely could be in I won't say hostile environment. It doesn't feel like that. It feels kind of competitive, but in a fun way. Let's look at your love life. I'm going to go back into these cards. What's your love life messages? Love life messages for Taurus this week. The 10 of Swords, game over, makes a lot of sense. Okay, now I want y'all to know that the 10 of Swords, this is crazy because I was actually channeling the 10 of Swords. What was the message I heard? Hold up, y'all. Because right after I heard the message, because I said so, oh my God, I can't remember. A crushing blow. I heard a crushing blow. And the 10 of Swords was the card that came to mind for me, because that does talk about an abrupt ending. It says, what difficult endings or painful experiences have I recently endured, and how can I use them as a catalyst for growth? Yeah, I do feel like Spirit is saying there's something here, someone here that you've cut off, and you can't go back down memory lane, and you also can't proceed with this person. This person can have addictions, with the devil energy being there. But like I said, that does talk about diluted attachments, unhealthy attachments, and so forth and so on. So there could be a Gemini in your energy. I don't know why this Gemini person always comes out, or this could be you. Oh my God, look at this. The devil, Capricorn energy again. This came out as well, the 10 of Pentacles. For some of you, there could be something with a family situation, or someone you're married to, or in a long-term commitment with. You have 2 10s here. You could be seeing 10s, 10, 10, so forth and so on. Okay. So the 10 of Pentacles can talk about, this could be somebody's addiction, hitting a rock bottom, right? I'm hearing a crushing blow, or some of you suffered some kind of situation, maybe in your family or with a spouse here. This looks like a marriage. It looks like some kind of long-term relationship. The Ten of Pentacles is longevity, is long-term. So this is not something that, it's not something that would be fly by night. It could also be showing me here that some of you have ended something recently, maybe a long-term relationship, or maybe you're on the outs with someone. But this Ten of Pentacles might actually show you something coming in that's actually stable, that has some staying power. And that's Virgo Mercury energy. It says home is where the heart is. Let's look at your health. Like I said, I'm going to go back over these cards to explain what this is saying. So somebody either ended a long-term relationship, or you're ending a long-term relationship and you're meeting someone new, or you're possibly already talking to someone new, and it's going to have some staying power. You have the Justice card in reverse, Libra energy, Venusian energy when it comes to your health. Okay. There's some kind of imbalance, Taurus. And you got the Queen of Swords in reverse, Venusian energy again, Libra Venus. Somebody have a Libra Venus placement. Both of these are Libra Venus. This feels more like mental health than it does emotional or physical. All right. And then you have the Fool as your overall energy for the week. So it does feel like Spirit is saying, look, whatever the past is, you got to let it go. This is about a leap of faith. Stepping out on faith, walking by faith, not by sight. This is Uranus energy. You know, and one of the things that I've recently learned about this card is it's connected to power plants, electricity, that type of thing. It could even be like x-rays and MRIs, technology, right? So some of you could do something like that professionally, or you could have something like that coming up this week. Or this is you doing something here, like the universe is pushing you to do something that is out of your comfort zone. It says, what risk are you willing to take? This is a card of spontaneity, risk-taking, innovation, eccentricity. It's also a card of raw genius and innovation, and a card to expect the unexpected. So there could be an unexpected ending this week if you didn't already go through this. But let's see what this is all about. Okay, so you have the Ace of Wands and the Five of Wands when it comes to your career. The Ace of Wands does talk about using professional tools, manual labor, firemen, I don't know what you call it, because firemen may not be politically correct, but biotechnology, forensics, technology, male-dominated work, even farm work. The Five of Wands, again, is competitive jobs. It talks about maybe being a talent scout, an agent, professional sports, physical jobs, or dealing with red tape. I feel like there is something this week about you pushing back against any kind of resistance or competition. Okay? And you feel very fired up. It feels like you are enthused to make something happen for yourself. And it feels like you don't have any quit in you. Let's see what this is about. Sometimes the Five of Wands can be disagreements, arguments, but it doesn't feel that way. And if it does feel that way this week for some of you, you still come out victorious. You're showing up. You put these together, you get the Six of Wands. And that's victory. So let's see what you get here with the Five of Wands and the Ace of Wands. You got the Sun. Okay. More fire energy. So you do feel very passionate this week. Leo energy. We are in Leo season. You got Leo in your chart. I just heard Leo rising. You got the High Priestess. So, you know, I feel like you are ahead of everyone because you know something. Like you intuitively know something. This card is bliss, happiness, success. Like I said, you put these together, you get success. This is success. And it is Leo season. Some of you this week, I will tell you, and watch out for this while you're at work, because this is definitely giving me like somebody's cycle is starting this week. You know, this is like, sometimes I see this red flag as breakthrough bleeding because it is new blood. And the High Priestess is connected to our monthly cycle. So for my feminines here, watch out for that. Okay, that could be something that you need to just be prepared for this week. But outside of that, you have two majors here. And these cards are showing me like a real strong intuitive nudge that you have this week. It feels like you are enlightened about something. Like, this is enlightenment. This is illumination of the truth. Something that you know, maybe you have a secret. You got the cheat code this week. 6 of Wands is the cheat code. Pretty privilege. I feel like there's something that you have up your sleeve this week. And this is how you beat these other people. These people that you might be competing with. And I feel like it's actually fun. Like I said, the sun is fun. It's happiness. So I don't feel like there's any like bitterness or resentment. But if you are in a hostile environment, even if the other people are bitter, you're not. You're happy. You're getting something that you have been asking for, praying for, and you can feel it coming. She is on a laptop here, so I don't know if there's some message that you could be getting virtually, but it feels good. And it feels like something that you may want to keep to yourself. Like, you might be bubbling like with this high-spirited energy. I told y'all this when I did y'all reading. I think it was not this past Friday, but the Friday before. I said it's a good day to have a good day. You're still in that vibration. You know, the Fool, the Sun, it definitely gives like you feel very unstoppable. So I don't know what this victory is for you. For some of you, there's a pay raise coming in, the Ace of Pentacles. Could be a new job, new car, new home, or like I said, an increase in pay or something. This is the desired outcome, whatever it is that you've been asking the universe for. Something that puts a smile on your face. But I feel like you're kind of being coy about it. This could also be a surprise, though. It could be something that you may feel you've been praying for and you're actually going to get it. So if you are trying to get a job and maybe there are other people vying for this job, it feels like you are a shoo-in. Now, when it comes to your love life, when you get the Ten of Swords, the Ten of Swords in love talks about defeat, loss, and crisis. And then the Ten of Pentacles is about wealth and establishment. So like I said, there's either a destabilization of a relationship that's been long-term, maybe up to 10 years. Or there's one thing ending and something more stable replacing it. Okay. Could be that some of you are working through a tough time with someone. It says, what difficult endings or painful experiences have I recently endured, and how can I use them as a catalyst for growth? Could be some kind of, this could be a familial thing, though, if I'm being honest with you, because this is about family, legacy. And I told you all last week, you could have had like a loss in your family. Ten of Swords is loss. Okay, so what is going on here with this energy when it comes to love? Now you got the Ten of Cups. You have all these tens. 10, 10, 10. You don't have the Ten of Wands, but you got all the rest of them. Okay, what's going on here? The Three of Swords. Yeah, that's a divorce. That's a separation. So there is, I mean, it's heartbreak, it's grief, it's loss, depression. Okay, so this week, Taurus, yeah, look at this. Grief at the bottom of the deck. It does feel like some of you could have recently lost someone or went through a fight or a disagreement or something with someone you really love and care about. But this could actually be blood relatives here showing up. I don't know why, for some reason, it feels like it could be that. But if you are in a long-term relationship or are, this week it might be tested a little bit. Okay. It feels like I'm getting like very happy energy, then very sad energy. Very happy energy, then very sad energy. And then you got grief at the bottom of the deck. I don't know if somebody had a car accident or something. I'm not saying that's going to happen this week, but it feels like it already happened for some of you. Or somebody has a loss here, and that energy really wants to come through strongly. Now, I like that we went from the Ten of Swords to the Ten of Pentacles, because that is a happier energy. I read my cards in order. So to go from the Ten of Cups to the Three of Swords gives me some sadness after being really happy. Y'all know I don't like predicting bad stuff. What is this? The Five of Swords. Yeah, this is the feeling of defeat. All of these are like defeat. All these swords. And the swords can be like really in your head about something. But remember, I said because I said so. You know what, Taurus? This week you might have to swallow your pride with a family member or a lover. It is possible this week, though you may be feeling like there's a person here that has done you wrong, the Spirit might be telling you to look at your own patterns of behavior. If somebody's betrayed you, this wouldn't apply. But if they didn't betray you, Five of Swords can be us putting our foot in our mouths, making a mistake, self-sabotage. And like I said, we got to stop as readers always putting us on other people. Sometimes it's us. It just is. And if it's not you, don't take it that way. But I just think it's weird to keep reading cards for people and saying, it's everybody else. It's like, well, this might be you. Like, you might feel that you've said or done something here, maybe in a family situation. Maybe there's some words. I always tell you all the Three of Swords is about words and thoughts. It's not really about the heart. It's about how the words and thoughts affect the heart. So this could be, these swords are words or thoughts piercing the heart. So it could be somebody constantly thinking about something that hurt them, or what someone said or did to them that hurt them. Or it could be you feeling this way about someone else. And again, it can be a card of depression, feeling distant from people. So I don't know, maybe you've been feeling like that. Maybe you've been in separation from family or loved ones. Maybe this is not about a romantic relationship. It's more about a familiar. Yeah, look at this. A familiar relationship. The Ten of Pentacles at the bottom of the deck. You can't make it up. Yeah, some of you may be estranged from family or something. And Spirit may be telling you to look at that this week. Okay, maybe you feel like they have betrayed you. They've done something to you. But you got to watch when you get the Five of Swords. This is something backfiring. So this could be them getting their karma. But it could also be that you have to watch the way you react. Because this card means that we're not always right. And we got to be able to look at things from both sides. And you got the Justice card and the Queen of Swords in reverse. And I told y'all this is more mental health. And you got all these swords here. So you have deluded attachments. You got no turning back. You know what I'm getting? Unforgiveness. That's what I'm getting. Queen of Swords in reverse is unforgiveness, as is the Justice card. You got the Three of Swords, Five of Swords, Ten of Swords. And it's family members showing up here. So there's something about unforgiveness showing up. Yep. Unforgiveness and, like I said, defensive energy, standing your ground, being stubborn. What did I say at the beginning of the reading? Our stubborn nature, our fixed nature. That's Leo energy, Leo Mars. Combative, defensive, stubborn, territorial. I'm going to let it go. Let's move on to the Justice card in reverse, because this is about your health. Okay? So physically, the Justice card in reverse is connected to, it's ruled by Libra, obviously, and it governs our core, organs inside of our core, lower back, kidneys, adrenals, ovaries, and also your inner ear. And when I think inner ear, I think listening. Queen of Swords is about communication. She's in reverse. Justice card is about impartiality. It's in reverse. Both of these are Libra, Venus energy. Same woman that's the Queen of, excuse me. Queen of Swords is the same woman in the Justice card, at least the same archetype. She's a decision maker, and she talks about making fair, balanced decisions. But this week, you're showing up in reverse. And like I said, I'm not reading for anybody else. I'm talking about your health. So we're going to see this as you. Some of you can feel very indecisive this week. Something's going on in your headspace this week. What is it? The Ace of Swords. Now, this is a breakthrough. Somebody could have surgery or something planned. Or maybe you're getting word about a surgery or something this week. The Hermit card. That represents diseases that come with old age. So I don't know. Maybe somebody here is going through menopause. High Priestess. Maybe somebody's going through menopause. That's possible. But this is also problems with your intestines, your lower stomach, your gallbladder, your spleen. It's a card of isolation as well. Self-discovery. There could be something here that you've been trying to figure out about yourself. Some of you also need to watch out for working too much. And then the Queen of Wands shows up. Queen of Wands is main character. She represents main character energy. She's very self-sufficient and independent and all of that good stuff. But I'm going to look at her in a minute. That is dark feminine energy. You could be feeling kind of selfish this week, if I'm being honest with you, with the Hermit card here. Eight of Pentacles, I see as just like the Hermit card. And then the Queen of Wands can come across as selfish a little bit to me sometimes, depending on the other cards. Overall energy is the Two of Wands. So, hold on, y'all. So when it comes to the Ace of Swords actually is connected to confrontations that cause health ailments. And like I said, this card represents surgery as well, but it can be a conflict. It's a double-edged sword. There's something going on in the mental space for you this week. Even Virgo is an honorary air sign. I know it's earth sign, but it's called the honorary air sign because it's ruled by Mercury. Now, when it comes to the Eight of Pentacles, this can be about small intestines, liver, pancreas. It can denote digestive problems, diarrhea, constipation, ulcers, irritable bowel syndrome, intestinal issues, appendicitis, and pancreatitis. But when I think about intestinal issues, I think about sometimes intestinal fortitude. you know, there could be something here that you don't feel empowered to say with the Queen of Swords in reverse, the Justice card. Maybe you feel like something is unfair. Maybe you need to speak up about it, but it's impacting your mental health. It could be in the workplace with the Eight of Pentacles here. It could very well be. Queen of Wands does talk about, on the more difficult side, like issues with your appearance, problems with your eyes. She can be body dysmorphia. What else? Plastic surgery, tattoos, and piercings. Like, this may not be a good week to do those things, because this is like usually when you can get like a bad reaction from it. Like disfigurements, pimples, rashes, inflammation. Like, so this may not be a good week for that. If you do feel like something, you're not completely sure about something, especially regarding surgery, like I said, I mean, somebody could be thinking about getting some plastic surgery. This is specifically about plastic surgery. The Queen of Wands. But like I said, tattoos and piercings, things of that nature, this may not be a good week for that. And I'm only giving you the more difficult answers here because these cards are in reverse. So it lets me know something is off. Yeah, something feels off. So you're going to have to be mindful of that this week, Taurus. If I were you, I probably wouldn't. I mean, if y'all got surgery scheduled this week, pray about it. I don't know. But it feels like something is not right. Something is out of balance. It's out of alignment here. You know what it might be? It's making me think of one time my grandmother had surgery, and her doctor was going through some stuff with his wife, and he operated on the wrong part of my grandmother because he was so distraught, wasn't sleeping at night. And when I think of this Hermit card, I feel like somebody could be up at night. And then the Eight of Pentacles is workaholism. You know, perfectionism, workaholism. So just be mindful of that. Like I said, if you have surgery scheduled this week, I'm not telling you don't get your surgery. I know that you can look into the chart and see like if it's a good time, but based on these cards, something just I don't know what it is. And it feels more like cosmetic. It feels more like superficial surgery. I'm not talking about life-saving surgery. Y'all, I would never tell y'all not to get that. I'm talking about something that may be a bit more on the vain side. You know, maybe even like when it comes to like dyeing your hair or trying new makeup or something, skincare, you might have a reaction to it this week. So just keep that in mind. But other than that, there's something here going on in the headspace. Again, I'm getting isolation. I see the Eight of Pentacles as isolation as well. I see the Hermit and the Eight of Pentacles very similar. Just said that the other day. Both Virgo sun. Well, both Virgo energy. And it gives me that there is something here about maybe some of you working really hard or trying to figure something out, doing some research, maybe on surgery. I don't know. But something feels out of balance this week, so don't ignore that. Okay, you got the High Priestess over here. Definitely pay attention to your intuition this week, but you do have no turning back. So I'm going to tell y'all again, watch for vanity this week. Watch for vanity and watch for like getting unnecessarily, I don't know how to say it, because it's like you have to make a choice this week. You have to make a choice this week, and I feel like you're crystal clear about something, or you're getting crystal clear about something that you've been confused about, but you have to pay attention to that. So again, I wouldn't try anything out of the way when it comes to beauty, skincare, stuff like that, or surgery. So this week, even if you are thinking about getting a cosmetic surgery, not a life-saving one, a medically necessary one, but a cosmetic one, yeah, I wouldn't do that. I wouldn't do that at all. The Three of Swords can talk about, I don't know, y'all. This could be hospitalization. We talked about this last week. Somebody with heart issues. The Three of Swords represents heart issues. Also, watch what you're eating this week. Watch out for overindulgence. Some of you can set yourself back. If you recently lost weight, you might end up gaining weight back because you're indulging in things that, I don't know, maybe you're getting together with family or friends or something like that, and you just got to watch that. Yeah. I hope this read made sense. It's all over the place, but that's what I have for you all. That's what wanted to come out. Something from the past is done, cannot go any longer, any further, and it just kind of is what it is. Spirit is saying, no, I'm closing this door. This chapter is over, game over, because there was some delusion with it. But I do feel like when it comes to work, something fun could be going on. This could be an activity in work where you all are like going outside, doing something like a rapport or a, what is it called? A something building. I don't know why I can't think of words sometimes. Jesus Christ. Like rapport building, working with other people. This could even be diversity. What do they call it? DEI. I know they've done away with that, or most of it at least. But it kind of gives that. If it feels like there's something here about inclusivity, and I think I talked about this last time when I said you all could work for people in the LGBTQ plus community, something like that. But it feels very passionate. It feels like you're fired up this week. It feels exciting in the workspace. It really does. But it feels like you're motivated to do better because you're incentivized to do it. The love situation feels a little shaky this week. And then the health, I do feel like there is something to watch out for with unnecessary surgery, or like I said, something to do with switching up your body wash, your something like that. You might have a reaction, an allergic reaction to something. So just be mindful of that, okay? Be mindful. Maybe some of y'all need to do like research on the products that you're using. Make sure, even when it comes to food that you eat, make sure that you're not overlooking like some of the trace amounts of anything that you could be allergic to. That's all I have for y'all today. Like, subscribe, hit the notification bell. See y'all next time. Peace.